What's going on, guys? I put on the Facebook page last night that I was going to give you all an update. It was a wild night. I didn't get much sleep. You guys are going to want to watch this to the end because it got crazy on us last night. It got really crazy. So I'm just going to start from the beginning and just tell you all what happened, and yeah, we'll just go from there. So we got out there last night after we got up with a guy that had actually had a sighting of a Bigfoot. We determined, or we thought, was one of the wild men Bigfoot. We drive out to the location, and it starts just like it normally does. We find a few signs, we find a few things that we see, that are typical with Bigfoot sightings. And then things took a turn. They took a wild turn. So we started hearing voices. And when I say voices, I mean voices just like we're sitting here talking right now. And it was all around us. It wasn't just like a voice here, a voice there, like it could be somebody camping. It could be somebody just hiking. No, it was coming from all sides of us. And it just continued forever. So I explained the rules of the Appalachians to the boys. I explained the rules of the mountains to the boys. You don't acknowledge certain things. You don't whistle. You don't. There's just rules. And most of you that have lived in these mountains all these years, you know these rules. So the talking continued, and it just continued to get louder. So we, at a certain point, we had debated on whether or not we were going to continue. But the next thing you know, we see red glowing eyes coming from the wood line. I get my light on it. As soon as I get my light on it, I watch it walk away from me. Now, guys, we see stuff. We see stuff all the time. This was something I've never seen anything like this before. It was just unlike anything I've ever seen. I've lived in these mountains all my life. I've been doing this stuff for a long time, even before I started with this team. And I have never seen anything like that before. But wait, because the freakiest part is yet to come. Then, from probably 50, 60 yards away max, we hear, hey, hey. And we said, yeah. We all doing here? We said, we're out doing our thing, I can't remember exactly what we said. And it was really weird because there was no lights, there was no fire, there was no indication of anybody being there. There was nothing, guys. I'm telling you, there was nothing. He then calls out Big Brass by his name. Is that Jesse? And not even thinking about it after we'd already talked about the rules of Appalachia, old Brass said, yeah, it's me. I got permission to be here. So then he started asking us questions. Y'all need anything? You need some help? Y'all good? So it kept asking us questions like it was trying to lure us to it, like it was trying to get us to come to it. And we kept saying, no, we're good. No, we're good. And then it just stopped. And then it just disappeared. And when I say disappeared, I mean, I know it's dark outside, but I don't know how many of y'all go walking through the woods, but when you're walking through the woods, you hear twigs breaking, you hear leaves rustling, you hear limbs as you go by them when they flap. I mean, those are things you hear when somebody is walking through the woods. We heard nothing. This thing just vanished. Next thing you know, we see the eyes again. We're flipping from one side to the other, trying to figure out which side it's coming from because the sounds are coming from everywhere again. Eyes are coming from both sides. We go to leave. As we're going to leave, I'm sitting in the back. I'm sitting there with a loaded double-barrel shotgun. This thing comes up behind us running full speed. I hear it turn around. There's nothing. Nothing. We get back up on the trail. We're going. We're all at both sides, or all sides, just trying to make sure nothing's coming after us. We don't know exactly. We ain't got a clue what's happening exactly. But I'll tell you this, we got to a spot to stop and meet. Next thing I know, Cody freaks out. He freaks out. And we're like, what are you seeing? And we're all pointing the same way that he's pointing. We're all got our lights going the same way he's going. And he swears by seeing a little girl dip from behind a big old poplar tree that was sitting up there. He sees a little girl come out from behind and go back. Now, I guess I should mention that there's a graveyard up there from the early 1800s. Now, I told you that to tell you this. I would love to say that we got footage of all of this. And this is why I said watch to the end. I would love to say that we got footage of all of this. But we didn't. Not a drop. Well, very, very, very little. And here's why. And here's part of what freaked us out even more. We charge everything before we go. Everything. If we need batteries, we pack batteries. If we go prepared. I'll say that much. We go prepared. Between 3 cameras last night, we went from 100% to dead. Dead. Within an hour and a half, 2 hours. The thermal we had, dead. That died within about 5 minutes. And it's almost like whatever we was encountering sucked every ounce of energy that we possibly had on us. My light that I keep on, I had it fully charged, it started to die. Anything that had a charge, anything that had a battery, it was like it was sucking it dry. And that's what was fueling what we were seeing. But we got to go back. I can't just get on this video and tell you all what we seen and us not go back and prove it to you. Because what we seen last night was unlike anything that I've ever seen on video, off video, in person, on TV. It was unlike anything I've ever seen. And we got to show this to you. We got to prove that this actually happened. We have to. because it was so crazy that most of you all are going to watch what I'm doing here right now, watch this video, and you're going to say, this guy's crazy, he didn't see nothing. He's just making an excuse because everything went dead. I'm telling you what happened, but we're going to get prepared. We're going to have much, 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 much more out there than what we had this time, and we're going to make sure that every second is recorded, and you all are going to get the proof that we set out to give you the first time. So you best stay tuned, because the show's about to start.